Hello, everyone. This is Julia De Sosa Rocha, your trusted real estate advisor with eXp Realty, Julia and Associates team. Today, I've invited my trusted loan officer that I've been working with for several years already, Dave Williford with Empire Financial. Dave, hi, how are you today?
Doing good. Always good to meet you. Always good to be with you.
So we haven't recorded a video in some time, and the market has changed. I'm sure you have noticed as well. And there are a couple questions that my buyers are asking me consistently. They want to buy a home, but the interest rate is stopping them. And another issue that I see is actually not enough money for down payment. They can afford to pay their monthly mortgage payments, but they don't have enough money saved that will cover the down payment and the closing costs. The good thing is for the buyers, the inventory is kind of rising right now and there are more homes to choose from. So I wanted to interview Dave and see what he has to share with you buyers so that hopefully it will help you and it will put you in a better position to buy a home by the end of this year, or if you're getting ready to buy a home next year, you will know what programs are available, what steps to take that will help you buy a home. So Dave, what do you see? What is going on in the market right now, and what programs do you have available that will help our buyers?
First, I see good things happening. For one, finally, I'm seeing good things happen in the market. Like you said, there's more homes available, and I'm seeing sellers that are willing to negotiate a little bit. They're paying closing costs, they're dropping the prices a little bit, they're getting a lot more easy to deal with. So that's a good thing. And as far as rates go, they've already come down pretty nicely from where they were. I mean, a year ago, we were in the high sevens.
Yeah.
Now we're looking in the mid sixes, and I'm actually locking loans these days in the high fives. I got one lady last week closed a loan, a lady at 4.75 on a 30-year fix. So the rates are good. Now, not everyone's going to qualify for those lowest rates, but they're really good. If we pick the right day to lock on, you can get a pretty good deal. But take a $350,000 house and you go down 0.5% in rate, that's about $125 a month right there. And we've come down a full point from where we were over, a little around a year ago. That's several hundreds of dollars on that $350,000 house, less that you'll pay now in your payment. So that's opening up doors for people that couldn't afford that $350,000 house last year. They may be able to afford it right now. And we've already got more rates. They're about to drop the interest rate another quarter. They've already done two this year, or one this year, and they're going to do one more. But as soon as they announce that, rates already come down. The market adjusts for that before it actually happens. So even though that rate drop hasn't happened yet, it has happened in the mortgage business. Rates are nice and low now. They're as low as I've seen them probably a couple of years. And we expect at least one or two, maybe two more drops this year. Those happen, those rates are going to continue to come down, and it's going to get easier and easier for people to afford that payment. On the housing side, sellers are a lot easier to deal with, and there's less buyers, so it takes away a lot of the pressure from the buyers.
Competition and more negotiation power.
Right. And anyways, with rates coming down a little bit, that's kind of working together to make it a lot better time to buy now than it may have been a year ago.
I agree, definitely less competition, and I see some sellers, not everyone, but some sellers are willing to do some price reductions and actually accept lower offers and contribute towards buyers' closing costs. So I wanted to talk about the closing costs particularly because it can cover the closing costs, but it can also cover some other things that can help to our clients to lower their monthly payments. I particularly talk about the 2-1 buy down programs, and if you have anything else available, any recommendations to our clients, let's talk about it.
Well, Georgia, we've got a lot of programs that will reduce the down payment, and some that actually will pay it off completely. People seem to think we have to have 20% down. Still, I run into people all the time that think they need 20% down, but FHA 3.5% down, conventional 3% down, USDA and VA 0% down. So those programs have already been there. They've been there for a while. We've got my down payment assistance programs. I deal with over 100 lenders, and probably 10 to 20 of them have their variation of a down payment assistance program. They aren't like government grants. So when the government shut down last week or whatever that was,
like it's been already almost 3 weeks. Yeah.
So it didn't affect us at all. These programs are still there. you can get up to $25,000, and the way it works, you can either get 3.5% or you can get 5%. If you get the 5%, that's going to pay your 3.5% down payment on an FHA loan and leave 1.5% left to pay some of your closing costs. If you take that in combination with a seller that's willing to pay a couple of percent in closing costs, you can get into a home for very little money. We closed a lady earlier this year, me and one of your other team members. I think the lady had to bring in $900 to closing. That was it. She had put down $2,000 earnest money, so at closing she actually got back $1,100. I mean, quite a deal for her. And when you work it like that, a lot of these people who feel like they're stuck with rent and they can't get out of their rental that they can't buy it, that puts you a lot closer. Instead of having to pay $15,000 or something to get into a home, you pay $1,000 or $2,000 and you're done. It's hard to even rent
and you start building the equity.
Yeah, well, it's hard to even rent a house for $2,000 down these days. So I think for a lot of people, it's a lot closer than they think. And that would be my one suggestion to people. Even if you think you are stuck renting, just check it out. It won't hurt. And you might be pleasantly surprised. I can't tell you how many people I've put into a home and they didn't think they'd ever qualify. They're actually shocked when they get approved. It's more common than you would think. It's not necessarily as hard as some people think it is.
And this is why I like working with you, particularly that you are a mortgage broker and you have access to so many programs. And some of them are very unique programs that are not available with some other institutional lenders. And I've noticed that you can beat pretty much almost everyone in rates and just create creativity, different options that are available with the program.
Yeah, we've got 100 lenders and they compete for our business. Believe me, it's a very, very competitive thing for a wholesale lender like the ones we deal with. You are going to get a better rate with a broker usually than you're going to get with a bank. I work with Homestar Financial. They're a good lender and I worked for them for many years. The thing I didn't like about them though is that they're the only program I had. So if I didn't have a rate that was going to work for a customer, I was done dealing. I mean, there's no.
I think this is when you and I have met, when you were working with Homestar back.
Now, if I got a lender that doesn't give me a rate I like, I've got many more that I can choose from, and I can actually play them against each other. And I'll call one lender and say, look, they gave me this. If you can beat it, you get the deal. And that sometimes that account rep will pull some strings and get me a little bit better deal. So if for my customers, it really works out good in the long run. That I have so many choices of lenders to put them with, and so many programs.
Okay. So are there any particular programs that you wanted to share with future buyers that they should know?
Just the down payment assistance program, and there's really not a lot to say about it. From my perspective, it's just as easy as any other FHA loan to me. It used to be these home improvement, these down payment assistance loans were very difficult to close. There were a lot of other things you had to do that you don't normally have to do to get a loan. But these programs aren't like that. It's a very simple thing. If you qualify for an FHA loan and your score is at least 620, you can get that down payment assistance money. And like I said, it's either 3.5% down or 3.5% or 5%. And some are repayable and then some are forgivable. Some of them you get that loan, as long as you stay in the home for 3 to 5 years, they forgive it, pay a penny back. It's like free money. Who would turn free money?
That is awesome. How low the rate should be? Is it still like minimum 580 in order to qualify for a loan, or it can be about 620 and above?
Well, for the down payment assistance program, 620. For an FHA loan, if you've got your own down payment money, 580. Actually down to 500. But if you're down below 580, you have to put 10% down. But you can still get the loan if you've got the 10% down. And you can still use gift money and things like that to help come up that 10% down. So really, if you've got 500 score better and you got a little cash, you can get a loan. But for what these days, and I run into more people that need cash to close than I do any other reason, and that's why these down payment assistance programs are so good. It's the most popular program right now.
This is what I see as well, that more buyers have some challenges with financing, but I think with the right approach and being creative with finding the right programs, there are definitely plenty of opportunities to still buy a home and do not be discouraged. So I think the buyers should definitely check with you, with me, like get a free consultation and at least give it a shot, because negotiating right now with the sellers is easier than it used to be, less competition, And with more interest rates coming down on the way, I think it's no brainer. Better get ready. And
I'm in the where I say buy now. I'll give you an example. I've got a customer, and I just looked at their file to my numbers here. They bought October 18th of last year, so just slightly over a year they bought their house. Paid $172,000 for it, and they got like I think it was a 7% rate. I checked the value of that home now. If they had waited to get a little bit lower rate, yeah, they'd get a lower rate, but you know what that house is worth now? It's worth $202,000. That's $30,000 more that they would pay. At the rate they were paying, that equals $192 a month. If they'd waited a year to buy that home and gotten the same rate that they got back then, they'd be paying $192 more a month to get that same house. Now, they're in the position now that rates are coming down. We're about to do an FHA streamline on them, which is the most simple loan in the world, and drop their rate down at least 1% and save them almost another couple $100. So in the end, they'll end up close to $400 less than that person who waited a year, waited for the rates to come down. So, I know it's tempting to wait for that rate to be nice, but you got to remember that while you're waiting for that rate to come down, on the other side, that price is going up. And so it's working against you in a lot of cases. You can always refinance, but you can't ever bring that seller to a point where they're going to drop it down to what it was worth last year. You're not going to do that, but you can always reset loan later on.
Totally agree. And yeah, market is definitely normalizing. And once the interest rates will be even lower, I think more people will come out from the closet. And we'll see more competition. So
that's why it's a good idea to buy now.
Like if we see more competition, it means more multiple offers, and it means that prices will going up again. So I agree with you. No of waiting. If you need to be in this home, better take advantage of this market now versus waiting until maybe next year where the market is going to turn around and prices will go up.
Yeah, buying now is kind of like going to the mall early in the morning when there's not that many people around. You can browse and shop and get all you want, but you wait till noon and the place is full. And it's the same thing here. For every 0.5% or 1% that the rate comes down, millions more people are going to come back into the market, and that's millions more people you're competing against. So time to do it is now before the mall gets busy. You know what I mean?
I like this comparison. Yeah, analogy is good. Okay, let's summarize. And would you like to share your contact information? I'll make sure to add all our contact information below. But Dave, please give your phone number so the future buyers can reach out to you for consultation. And let's see who is ready to buy now.
Okay. You can always find me on Facebook and instant message me, but you can reach me at 678-628-3516. Again, I'm on Facebook. My phone number is on this page. I'm easy to reach. My suggestion, even if you think there's a slight 1 in a million chance you could buy a home, go ahead and check it out now. Don't wait till the last minute. I see too many people get their heart broken. They fall in love with a house. They haven't thought ahead to go ahead and get pre-approved and get everything ready. The time they can, that house is gone. They don't know what to do. So it's always best, even if you're a year out, go ahead and have a conversation with someone like me, and let's make sure there's nothing that's going to be in your way so you don't have that happen to you down the road.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Thank you very much for jumping on this video call with us. Thank you for sharing some thoughts. Always pleasure working with you, and looking forward to helping more buyers in the months ahead. Please remember to subscribe, share. If you know of anyone who is looking to buy or sell a home, please share our contact information with anyone you know, and we're here to help.
Awesome.
Great.
It was always good to talk to you, Julia.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
We are making your real estate dreams a reality. Partner with us for exceptional results.